Hello, movie lovers, and today I actually have my good friend Dumbass Don here with me um,
Accurate.
for this review for episode 3. We can't wait to talk about this. We have a lot to unpack here, some mixed emotions with certain things within episode 3. But let's go ahead. Let's talk about it. I'm excited to have Don here talking about it. I'm actually filling in for Rossie. So let's go ahead. Let's do it. Hey, Don.
What's going on?
Do it. Nothing much. How you doing?
I'm chilling. No, I'm chilling. Have a good day.
Me too.
Very
Had a pretty
nice.
good day.
Very nice. Excited to talk about this crazy show.
Same here. But before we do that, we have
the last.
Well, there's actually something else that we have to talk about too.
Okay.
And it's about being comfortable in the zombie apocalypse.
I would not be.
It's also about getting the right clothes from a certain store.
Oh shit, here we go.
Tonight's emotionally devastating fungus-filled episode of The Last of Us is brought to us by the WWE Most Unstoppable Force, the Miz, because just like Corey Sips, he's everywhere and no one asked for it. That's right, Michael, when the infected came crashing through the abandoned FEDRA outpost, make sure you're wearing the latest fashion. Apocalyptic fashion. John Cena's Eden V's gear. If you can't see him, neither can the clickers. Then also too, you also have some other stuff here. We also have Paul Heyman. My client does not acknowledge the infection shirt. We also have Roman Reigns walks out in a full tribal chief gear bloater shirt as well. So yeah, we have a lot of stuff here at WWE.
I like that.
So yeah, I think so too. I think you can rock out with some Roman Reigns. But yeah, that's gonna be it as far as our WWE segment goes. For our sponsorship, use the code WWE29. And the promo code, of course, will be in the description below. Okay, so The Last of Us, The Path is the name of the episode. So the thing that I like about it is the fact that it starts off 3 months later after the events of Joel dying. And then Ellie's inside the hospital, and then you have that flashback of everything that is happening to Ellie, and then she wakes up in the hospital. But the reason why I like this is because it's still fresh in her mind, and therefore those wounds that she has, and I'm not talking about the physical wounds that she has,
Yeah.
but the mental things that she has in her mind are still lingering in there. It's not like a year or two later, it's fresh. And therefore it's still so therefore all that stuff that she has in her head is still going to be planted within her. And there's no time to mourn after someone after the events, and there's still being played out in her mind. So I like that aspect of it, of the fact that it's only been 3 months, and the fact that that anger is still there, that loss, that hurt, and we're just as hurt and lost as she is, because we're mourning after Joel as well. So
Sure.
You have that. So what did you think of the fact that they started this off at 3 months later?
Well, they didn't start off at 3 months later. Remember, they had that moment with her in the hospital right afterwards where she sees it again. They wake her up and she sees it again. And then they have the moment with his brother. Oh, Jesus. Why am I
Tommy?
Tommy, yes, I'm sorry. Doing the cleaning, of the bodies and stuff. And they have all the bodies in there. But, dude, that moment when she sees, like, the image in front of her in the hospital, oh man, that hurt. Like, that hit me. It got me right back into the moment, which I think was really smart the way they did that, actually, because you could come into this episode, of course, remembering what happened last episode, but after a week of not watching it, you're kind of calmed down, you've kind of processed what's happening. They're like, no, we're going to shock you again with it, just so you understand, like
the level of the brutality of what happened to Joel, but also too,
really like that,
seeing Tommy, seeing his brother there, that broke me.
That part broke me too, for sure.
And seeing the watch of that. Here's the thing: it's not the watch to me symbolizes the brokenness of Ellie and Joel's relationship, just as is also the brokenness of Ellie and her heart of the loss of Joel, just as Tommy's also mourning the loss and brokenness of what he lost with his brother.
Yeah.
So you have this brokenness and this mourning that they're actually going through together, and they're not even knowing that they're going through it together because Tommy winds up seeing his brother in the morgue, and then he winds up seeing the watch, and that broke me. I'm going to be real. That actually was devastating. I was actually bawling.
Oh yeah, no, that whole before the jump moment, all that whole scene was just awesome. That was really good stuff. The way they brought us back into that moment, and then we got to breathe, and then it was okay. Now we're 3 months in the future, past this, and people are rebuilding. Because I also like the way they did that because from that juxtaposition of, oh no, as a viewer, we want you to know we're still like that we're pissed, like we're pissed. But the town feels like it's moved on. Do you know what I mean?
Right. But I also feel like the town also hasn't really fully moved on either. If you think about it,
No, it hasn't. But what I'm saying is, just in that moment, it just feels because they're rebuilding, and everybody's kind of back to their normal lives, and it just feels like okay, we know we need to feel this way, but the town is like, well, maybe we don't feel that way anymore, which we see later. But again, I really like the way they opened this episode.
Me too.
I think that they got the emotions they wanted out of me, at least for sure. It sounds like you too. So,
right. I feel the same way. I mean, I feel like, it's like, okay, it's time to rebuild now. It's time to go forward and not backwards and stop thinking backwards.
Yeah.
And to them, it's just another casualty that died. So therefore, they don't have that emotional attachment like Tommy does or Ellie does because they're not family.
Well, and they also don't have an enemy to go after like Ellie does. This was another person doing this to them. Yes, they got attacked. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like trying to downplay the devastation. A lot of people lost a lot of people they care about. A lot of people died, but it was from an attack of the
just one person.
Well, the infected is who the town got attacked by.
Right.
Ellie was attacked by a person, like a group of people that that didn't have to do what they did. Like at least in her eyes. So it's a little bit different for both parties. The town is kind of just thinking, okay, we need to move on. There's nothing really, we don't have an enemy to go fight, other than just protect ourselves from the natural enemy out there. Where Ellie's like, oh no, I have a target. Like
I don't care about the infected.
Public enemy number one. She's on my list.
Exactly. Like, Abby, but then you also have Dina that winds up visiting Abby at the very beginning of this though too. And she's like, look, I withheld some information from you. She goes, well, what do you know? She goes, well, there's a symbol. It's called the wolves. And also too, you brought cookies. Yeah, it's a peace offering. And that's when she winds up laying down the bombshell of the fact that she withheld information. But she's also trying to protect Ellie at that time because she knew that if she told her, she'd be ripping off that IV just like she said. Go in full Rambo style.
Yeah, 100%.
So I don't blame her at all for doing that. And even Ellie's also lying to the psychiatrist as well when she leaves.
That moment with Gail was really good too. I really like that moment. Yeah.
And even with the doctor goes, no, I'm good. I'm 100% better. I'm good.
Yeah. She's like, all the rest of us are just getting by, but you're fine. No, you're just 100% fine. I love that little like back and forth with them. I just thought that was really funny.
Me too. I thought the sarcasticness between the two of them was really good. But
and they both know what's going. Like they both know. Ellie knows, she knows, and she knows that Ellie, that kind of shit. So it's like, okay,
it's a back and forth game, right?
Yeah, and it's more of she's not pushing in that moment either because look, it's only been 3 months. She just lost her father figure, so she's probably like, okay, I'll give you your time, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I'll give you your space for a moment.
Let you process stuff.
Yeah, but we need to talk at some point, is what she was basically saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Until Dina shows up at the door, and then
yeah,
here's look. Well, what about this person's name? That person's name. She gave them every single person's name. Well, what about the girl with the braid? That's Abby.
Yeah.
So now she goes, well, do you know where they're going? Yes, Seattle. So now she has a place. She has their names. She has everything that she needs to know to go. Oh, I like it for a baby. Like a cat.
He's hanging out.
But, I just thought that they laid down the foundation of that. And then now they have to go to the council for the vote. And then even when Jesse's over there talking to her, so do I have your vote? Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to wait. I'm like, nah,
Well, they
you're
talked to Tommy first too, and
yeah,
that
Tommy. Yeah,
moment
she
with
talked.
Tommy, because he says something really interesting in that moment. Well, I don't say it's interesting, but it's just it's a really good point because she is in that moment acting like nobody understands, nobody understands, nobody understands. And he's like, he was my brother. Stop acting like I don't know who he was. Like, stop talking to me like I don't know who my own brother was. Like, I really like that moment because you do kind of forget, not that it's his brother, but that, they also have a history and it's way longer than Ellie and him.
Right.
So she keeps trying to think of it like, oh no, I just know this. Nobody knows him like I
Well,
do.
not only that, she's acting like she's the only one that lost somebody.
Yes. Right.
And he's like,
Right.
look, I lost somebody too. That's my blood. That's my brother, like you mentioned, Don.
Yes.
And, you're not the only one that lost anyone.
Right.
So I like that element of it. And it's like, well,
Because he's not against her. Like, there's no moment where you think he's against her. He's just like, look, chill. Like, just relax for a minute. Like, yeah,
exactly. It's like,
yeah,
look, I understand what you're going through, but let's pump the brakes for a minute. Let's talk about it. And that's another thing too, is like he would be a good father figure for her to take the place of Joel,
yes,
to actually center her a little bit. Even though
yes,
Joel's basically guns blazing sometimes and doesn't think the way Tommy thinks, but he would keep Ellie a little bit more grounded compared
yes.
to Joel in a sense.
And nothing against Joel. Joel's been surviving, but look,
Mhm.
he's a little more stable than Joel is at this point. I mean, he has a
Right.
wife, he has a whole town he takes care of with his wife. So they're a little more. And I don't mean stable in like but I just mean
Yeah, I
that
know what you
he's
mean.
yeah, where she would be able to thrive as with them. And not that she couldn't under Joel, but yeah, again, it's just a little bit different, I think.
And Tommy has a lot more to lose as well.
Yeah, yeah,
So you have to look at
sure.
it from that standpoint too. But
Yeah,
then we get that whole entire thing. Now Ellie's over there boxing with Jesse,
yeah,
and she's like, "So, do I get your vote?" He goes, we're just gonna have to wait and see. I
yeah,
cannot tell you anything until we go to the council. You know that." She goes, "Yeah, but you know me."
yeah,
And he goes, "Still, have a good night."
yeah. I think he has to play it that way, and I think he was smart playing it that way with her. Like, look, and I like his advice at the end, which she takes is, write it down. Like, we get you're angry, we're all angry, but that's not going to move everybody right now. We need you to be
No.
a little more calm. And again, we'll get to it, but I think she did a great job with that. Actually, I think she did for Ellie. I mean, it was
Yeah,
definitely
for
an
Ellie
Ellie
to
speech,
write down her thoughts. Yeah,
but it was the right thing to say for her. I think.
I agree because she said she owns up to the fact, even though it's a bullshit lie on some of it,
Hmm.
but she even owns up to the fact like she has a hard time writing down things.
Yep.
She just does things and
Yeah.
that's it. So, you have that.
So I said
But
it's a very Ellie speech. It's definitely her thoughts. Like, you know what I mean? You can tell
right.
it's so yeah, I really like that. I really
I
like that.
also like how Jesse's like, look, you're not thinking rationally, you're thinking angrily. No one's gonna vote yes because you're angry. Write down your thoughts and we'll talk about it the next day.
Yeah.
So I like how he's talking sense into her on that aspect and being real with her. And then we get into the council. You have one guy talking about corn, which no one cares about.
Nobody gave a shit about. Yeah, no.
You can tell everybody was just
Nobody.
as bored as we are about that shit, and everybody's
Yes.
rolling their eyes. So in a way, that's kind of like us as the audience. Like, okay, dude, we're not here for this. Well, what about Seattle? And just as an audience member, I'm also thinking, well, what about Seattle?
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
And goes, well, I don't have any thoughts. Then why the hell are you there?
I was just literally thinking, like, why are we even talking? Like, why is this where we come in on this conversation at? Like, this doesn't matter to
Well,
anything.
city council. Don't forget, we
But I like
always go
no,
through.
again,
Right.
I like the
I'm
way
just
they
saying,
did
it's
it.
just how right.
I just didn't
Going ahead.
expect it to come in that way. I guess is more. Yeah, I was just like, wait a minute, what? What are we doing?
Right, because here's the thing: you're wanting to go to the main event, and this one guy is really
Yeah.
not wanting to go there because he doesn't care about that.
Yes. No, it felt like a real council for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah,
it
like a
did. It
real
really
town
did.
hall. 100%. Yeah.
Which I've been to one of those as a kid because my mom and I were trying to get our road paved and everything because we lived on a dirt road and we kept on getting our car stuck. And
Mhm.
so we had to sit through all this other stuff. And it was at that time, it was like getting 9:30, 10 o'clock. Like, okay, we're just going to leave. And that's actually how I felt watching this guy.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm done. I'm done. I'm good. Yeah.
But then we finally get to it,
Mhm.
and you get this one dude who just, well, I'm not a Christian person, but I believe in forgiveness. And I think we should just go about our own way. But Rachel also stands up first, and Rachel's
Yeah.
like, well, we all lost people, and what makes his life more than ours, basically, we
Yeah.
need to start rebuilding. And this is what I said, though. I said there's a clear difference in losing someone to the clickers, to the runners, to the bloaters.
Mhm.
Those are everyday life things that are happening to you guys.
Yep.
There's a clear difference when someone comes into your neighborhood, takes out one of your guys, and then walks off like nothing even happens, rides off into the sunset, which is exactly why Seth was pissed off in the first place with that.
Yes.
So I think that Seth reacted in the right way going about it, because that's how I felt was, hello, those people got killed by the clickers and stuff. Not saying that's bad, but someone who isn't a bloater, who isn't a clicker, just killed someone else.
Yeah.
And acted like
Yeah,
it was
and I
no
mean,
big
for
deal.
where we were with him 2 episodes ago, was it 2?
Yeah, about 2 episodes ago,
Yeah.
because it was like on episode 1.
Right. Yes. So so where we were with him, and then this, it's a moment. It's a moment for everybody because he's basically taking her side at that point. Nah, whatever happened 2 days ago, whatever. I don't, or months ago now. That's in the past. Like she's right. Like she's right. You guys need to listen to her. And not that she spoke yet at that point, but you know what I mean. He's basically taking her side, like because everybody knows what she's gonna say, or
Right.
the side she's on, I should say. Yeah.
Right, because she's on the side of like, we need to go, we need to get these people, and that's it.
And these other two are like, no. And again, I get everybody's point of view. Like, I understand where
no one's
what's her
right or
name's coming
wrong.
from.
Is
Rebecca's
right.
coming from. I understand where the other dude was coming. Charles, or was it Charles?
I forgot. Cedric? I don't know. I made up the name on that one.
Yeah, but I get where they're coming from, and nothing against them, but this is different. This is personal. This is we still need to send a message that you can't just come mess with us. Other people can't just come mess with us.
Right, exactly. And even Seth brought up the fact that they're going to be laughing at us.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to come back over here and laugh at us. And then finally, then Ellie winds up giving her speech about things, and then the council winds up voting.
8-3, man. 8-3 is such crap.
It really is.
It was, because who the 3 were. I mean, it's obvious who the 3 were.
Jesse,
but it's such crap. Yeah. Tommy, Jesse, and the wife. I can't.
I know her from True Blood, so I'll just call her Tara.
Gotcha. Yeah. So it was those 3 for sure.
Yeah.
But it's just like, that's complete crap. That none of you were swayed by that speech at all. Again,
no, because
do you hate this girl that much? Like, you can't hate this person that much.
I don't think it's about the hate, though, man. Like, even whenever you have the psychiatrist sitting down watching the girls' softball game happening.
Yeah.
And she's sitting down with Tommy, and she's telling him, well, that's a good speech that Ellie had, but it was fabricated on a lie. And I didn't even believe Ellie. I thought it was very forced in a sense. Like, I liked it, but at the same time,
I actually believed her. I just think she was saying what she wanted them to hear.
That's exactly what it was. But it was
I don't think she was lying per se, because I do think she believes it's about justice also. But she wants to kill the dude. I mean, there's no killer. Yeah, but I do think she does believe in justice, and that she does. Like, I didn't think that was fake. I just think that she didn't put in the parts that would make her look bad, is what I would say. I think everything she said was honest. I just don't think she put in the bad parts of what she wanted to say, I guess.
I don't know. For me, I was like, this kind of feels forced. But then when she brought up the whole lying thing, I'm like, okay, that's probably why I was thinking the way I was, because of the fact that she is lying, because she wants vengeance. Yeah. So, but, and then you also have Seth, who winds up telling Ellie, hey, look, first you have Dina coming over to see Ellie, and Ellie's acting like she's busy doing something, and she's like, oh, and she sees the ammo. She sees more ammo than John Rambo.
Oh my god, yeah, it was everywhere. It was great.
And she's like, "Well, everything looks great here. What about food? What about water?
Yeah, what about anything that you
other
need to survive? Yeah, like what about anything?
right? You have all this
You have a
ammo
med
here,
kit? She's
but
like, "Do you even have a med kit?" And she's like, no." Like, what? Like, you don't have a med kit?
and then she didn't even have a map until Dina
Yeah.
winds up showing her the map. So
Mhm.
it's a 19-year-old that's thinking irrationally without thinking because she's angry and what isn't getting her own way. And I heard everybody saying that she's not believable um as Ellie. I thought that she's acting the way a teenage girl would act.
Yeah,
And
I
then
don't
and
think
the
it's I don't think yeah, I don't think that she's bad as Ellie. I think the issue is, at least I noticed this. I think them casting that girl, and again, not that they shouldn't have done it, but the girl that they got to play Abby, I think is a better Ellie. That's my only problem now, is that now I think she's a better Ellie. But again, this isn't taking anything away from Bella Ramsey or Ellie. I think she's a good Ellie. But that girl definitely nails Ellie, I think, a little more accurate to the game, Ellie.
so you're thinking maybe if they just went on ahead and recasted
No, no,
Bella
no. I'm
Ram
not.
no no
No,
no no
no,
no
no. I don't
what,
want that. No, no, no,
no no
no.
no like what I'm trying to say is like we
Oh.
had that time jump at the very beginning of the season
Mm-hmm.
and have it swapped out where it shows a little bit of aging by having her in that spot.
Oh no, I don't.
You know,
Again, I don't mind that Bella is staying as Ellie. I think she's earned
right?
that role. I
Me
think
too.
she earned it in the first season. I think for sure she earned it. So yeah, I don't think she should be taken out of it. It's just
No,
that girl
no,
was really good, and they even said, if you watch like the after episode thing, where they said that they specifically cast her as an anti Ellie, or like a counter to Ellie specifically, and they just cast really well. So
she did. I mean, she looks just like the video game character of
yes,
Abby.
she looks more like her, and she does feel more like her. I think Bella, again, she's not a bad actress at all, but she's a little stiffer than Ellie was in the games. Ellie was a little more loose with the way I don't know. But
Like the
again,
snarkiness and stuff.
it's
Right.
not that she's bad. Like, again, I think she's great.
Me
So
too.
yeah,
I
it's
love
not
Bella.
against her.
Me too. I love Bella Ramsey as
Yeah.
Ellie. I don't see anything wrong with her, to be honest with you. I've just been seeing a lot of hate because of the fact that she's not acting as if she's a 19-year-old girl and stuff. And I'm like, I
I
don't know
think she
what you're
is. Yeah,
seeing
I
because
definitely
I'm
think she's
seeing,
acting like a girl, or a 19-year-old girl, I should say, not just a girl, but yeah.
right. I see her acting like a 19-year-old girl, rebelling and wanting to do the things that she wants to do because the council winded up rejecting her. And therefore now she wants to go in and have vengeance and have her own way.
Look,
So
there's
I
no
think,
way she was not going. Like, it wasn't about whether she was going or not. It was about whether they were going to help her or not. That's really what
right.
she was there for. Was, are you going to help me? Like,
Well,
I mean, I
also,
know
too, it's
she
about
does
the
say I'll respect the
respect.
council's like decision, but I knew that part was definitely BS when she said that. I knew that.
Right.
So,
So now we get into this whole thing now with Seth showing up,
mhm.
and he winds up trading the rifle over the old rifle that Joel gave Ellie, and gives her a whole new rifle and gives her a way out. I
It's
just wish
those
that he would have
moments,
went
those
with her.
video game moments like that are just awesome.
You know what's weird though? Like when he was in that whole entire council thing, it felt like a video game just the way he was looking at the
Mhm,
camera.
mhm.
And I'm
Oh,
like,
dude,
oh
these feel like cutscenes for sure. So
yeah.
some of these scenes feel like cutscenes, 100%.
But I just wish that he would have went with her just to have a little extra protection.
You know what I was actually thinking too. I'm glad you jogged my memory on this. I was thinking about this last night when I was watching the episode. This These first two episodes, and again, I know it doesn't happen exactly like this in the game, but this felt like the 2 hours you get like in a like a prologue or like a tutorial, like to a game. Do you know what I mean? Like the begin, and then her leaving the gate is like the beginning of the game. Like
Like the
that's when the
quest
Last
for
of Us 2
vengeance,
would come
right?
up. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like this is the beginning of the actual like game. Like everything up to this point is just like the where are we at now kind of, and like what's the draw in, what's the whole bad guy situation, and then now we're like okay, Last of Us 2, like them walking out the gate.
I can
Like,
see that. I can definitely see it like that.
it's just something I noticed, and again, they might not even have thought of it that way, but it does feel that way.
It does feel that way.
Yeah,
because of the fact that
which
they
I
could have
like.
just had music coming and have Last of Us season 2
Oh,
at this
dude, it
point.
would have been awesome. It would have been awesome. But
But
all of that I love. I do love everything that's happened so far in the episode up to this point.
and then you also have that scene too where Ellie's now, because remember Tommy winds up telling Ellie at the very start, the very beginning of the episode where they bury Joel. So she visits Joel one last time and then they head out.
Yes.
And I like the fact too, because they mentioned that the showrunners mentioned this, that in the game there's no mourning for Joel.
Yeah.
There's no time to mourn for Joel. At least with this, we had the action in episode 2 that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Now we can have a breather to let us just mourn over Joel, just as Ellie's mourning over him, and also Tommy mourning over him.
Yeah.
And have that breather and have somebody with Ellie on this journey to help and guide her through this whole entire mourning process. And then you get I don't know who they are. It looks like a cult that they're in. These people. I don't know what they're called.
I can't remember the name of them. Yeah, I think I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember. But that weird symbol, I do remember that symbol from the game. Yeah.
What did you think of that though?
I like that moment because I do remember them from the game, but yeah, the way they introduce them, it's kind of random. But I mean, how else do you introduce them? I mean, I don't really know how else you kind of bring them in. I mean, so it's definitely
Surf and Ties, I think.
Yeah, something like that. And then when they find them and they see what the WLF is doing, which interesting way to play this, how they play this, because they're now an army basically. So how the hell do they infiltrate how the hell do they get into this?
Okay, so I actually have a prediction for this as well.
Okay.
But we can all. Did you want to talk about anything that happened within the tent or anything like that? The spooning that they were doing.
Them having the conversation was cool, but I mean, they're not going anywhere. We know they're not going anywhere. I mean, they're just.
She's with Jesse now. She's a straight girl, so
yeah, which is fine. And, she's a cool best friend. I have no issue with her as the character. So yeah, I don't mind that. But because I really loved her and Joel's moment, which again, going back to that moment actually. When she says to Ellie, like, I lost him too. Like, I loved him too. So I really like that moment with her.
Me too.
They're kind of like almost sisters now at this point.
You know basically they're just sisters mourning over the same father figure at this point.
Yes.
And as to why Dina would actually go with Ellie in the first place.
Yeah. But in the tent, again, it was a cool little scene to kind of, put us, where we know where they really are. And that's fine. I didn't have a problem with it, but it didn't.
It didn't move the storyline.
Yeah.
It's just there for a little bit of filler. And then after that, we're now seeing Seattle. They finally arrive in Seattle. I'm glad that they did
that. Is what I will say is my only gripe with that part is I think it's too fast. I think we should have got I think the end of this episode should have played out to maybe them, I don't know, not getting there yet, but just a little more. And then kind of next episode, we get there kind of thing in the beginning.
I don't know. For me, this is me, because I've seen Fear the Walking Dead, where we spend 3 or 4 episodes on a yacht.
Fair.
And
that's fair.
And I'm like, I'm glad that they sped this up a little bit, but still they didn't really, because of the fact that we didn't run into Abby yet. We didn't run into anybody that we knew that killed Joel. So therefore, I'm okay with that. Now, if they just said, oh, there's Abby, well, let's go in and try and take her out. Let's get the sniper rifle. Okay, we're going to go back home.
Yeah.
Now, that would be a whole different thing, but they're slowly getting us there, but there's other avenues that they have to get us there. So I'm okay with them just getting us to Seattle right now. That's just me, though.
No, again, that's fair. I don't know. I would have liked just a little more time with them, I guess, on the road together. Like maybe just one little thing happens, it's just something, I don't know. But again, I don't have a problem with it. So, it's not like a big gripe. But
Oh,
I
no.
just kind of expected a little more out of that trip than just, we got, because, and also I guess because the way she made such a big deal about, bringing, she's like, what if you twist your ankle? What if you do, what? And then they're just like, oh, it was like the easiest trip ever.
And then
Like,
especially when she's explaining the map layout of where they have to go and stuff and all this thing of traveling, and they're also on a horse too. Because even on The Walking Dead, they were on horses and stuff as well, and also driving cars. So,
and again, nothing big, just a little thing I noticed where I was like, I wish that would have took a little more time. But again,
I gotcha.
Okay, it's fine. Like, we're here now.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. I was just glad that they didn't waste any time. Then they were there.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like the fact that they're up inside the spaceship thing that they have over there in Seattle, and I like that little layout of it. The CGI and AI thing that they did for it, it's a video game movie, TV it's a TV show based on a TV series. Of course, it's gonna look like that. I'm okay with it.
Do you think they just put a shot in from the game and just like up, the kind of like touched it up?
That's kind of what it looks like. It looks like they just took the environment.
If they did that, I wouldn't mind it. If they did it just as an Easter egg, like this is the actual like from the game shot kind of thing, and just touched it up, I would be okay with that. But it did look very digital. It did look very digital. I will agree with
I'm okay with that because that's showing that it's a fair use of AI or CGI mixed together. And you're just making the environment based off of what we've seen in a video game, opposed to making everything that way. So I'm fine with that if they did that. But as far as my predictions go, okay. So Ellie doesn't know right now that they're going into this thing with all this full blown army.
Mm-hmm.
All she knows is that these people are there, and that's it, and that's all they have. She doesn't know that they have this huge ass army. She doesn't know about the tank.
Yeah, no.
And so this is what I'm saying. So I'm thinking either Ellie and Dina has to turn back around. And here's the thing: the size of the Wolves military in this isn't good because they could wind up going to Jackson and take over that town. But at the same time, though, as I was writing this, I was also kind of apprehensive because also, too, the town in Jackson's also rebuilding, so there's no reason for them to go back to that town. But then it shows a moment of weakness in that town to where they can take something from that town, run and ransack it as well.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a final battle at Jackson.
I think so, too. And it goes back to what I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
No. That's what I was saying. Okay. That's all. Yeah.
But it goes back to what Seth said. They're going to come back and laugh at us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what's going to be happening.
I mean, I could definitely see that. Yeah, for sure. 100%. 100%. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I think the final battle or, final whatever is altercation will happen at Jackson.
I think so too. I think, because think of it like this, and even Ellie brought up the fact that the wall is destroyed. They're trying to rebuild that wall again and trying to rebuild everything they lost. Right now, there's a moment of weakness as well. So, that's actually a perfect time for an enemy to come in and take over this town and ransack it and just take everything that belongs to you.
I mean, why wouldn't you at that point?
Right. But we also mentioned the fact that we didn't really have. Remember when you mentioned that we didn't really have anyone that was bad that just came in and took over anything? We don't have a Negan situation at that point. We just have one person taking out somebody.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah. I think that's fair.
So I'm thinking that we're going to see a leader come in with Abby and them.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
So they're outnumbered. There's no way in hell that they can take down this whole entire.
I think there's probably going to be at least 400 or 500 of them. I think that's the way they're making it seem, is that there is a lot of them.
And the only way to really hope for is like a bunch of clickers and a bunch of them coming after them.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, dude. Yeah, there's definitely going to be a battle. Like I said, I want to see how they're going to play it out because, man, if they come and attack them because of her going there, that's going to piss a lot of people off.
Right. I think it's easier for Ellie and them just turn back around. Hey, look, I overestimated everything. You guys were right. Sending in only 16 people when they have over 100 people was a big mistake. I'm sorry. I was acting she's not going to say it, but you know.
No,
But,
there's no way. But yes, I agree with you. Yeah. At this point, you gotta be like, all right, look, I lost. I think we lost.
be like, what's his name from The Hangover? We fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. No,
With Bradley
100%.
Cooper, where he calls his wife. Yeah. Look, we overestimated. What do you mean you overestimated? We fucked up.
Yeah, there's millions of them. We don't know what's going on over here.
But yeah, that's my prediction as far as going into the 4th episode for this. But
Here's my
I'm just
question,
glad
dude.
that
There has to be an island somewhere that this cannot get to. There has to be. That's the one thing I've never understood about any zombie movie or any zombie anything is why don't you get to a cruise ship or an island? Like that's your best survival bet.
You did play a video game that took place on an island, right?
Yeah, but they were already there. I'm talking about you. If you get to an island, clear the island, you can control. Even if it's like Walking Dead, where it's in the air, you can control. Once you take out the initial wave, you can control the virus at that point. You can watch people that are dying, and anything like that. Like there's ways you can control a zombie apocalypse. This is shit I think about. Dude, I'm a crazy person. I know the zombie apocalypse is not possible. I know it'll never happen. But I think about what I would do if I was in it, or what would happen. I would go to.
In other words, is you already have a bunker already planned out.
I have a plan. I wouldn't say a bunker, but I have a plan.
Yeah,
I have a plan. I have a plan for sure. Like I'm finding the smallest island possible, and I'm taking that shit over. It's going to be Donatopia. Like screw everybody.
I gotcha. But yeah, I know some people were saying, well, not a lot happened, but here's the thing. You have a big action episode. You go ahead, you play it off with this one with Morning Joel, have that moment of silence for him, go on this little journey, side quest, then you turn your ass back around, and now we're back in Jackson, or we're in the where Abby and all them are at.
Yeah.
But I think we're gonna go on ahead and have a little backstory of Abby next. Possible. I think that's where it's leading to. I think we're going to take a break from them, from Ellie and our main characters, to make it to where we care about them. Because there's a quote that I liked in The Walking Dead with Carol and Daryl. It's like, are we the bad guys in our story, or are we villains in somebody else's story?
Right. And that's the issue. That's always the issue. Is, are you really on the good side of good? You know what I mean? In the long run. Yeah.
But yeah. All in all, good episode. But that's everything that I had. Huh?
It was. I think it was a little slower than I wanted and expected, but again, I'm not mad about it. I'm not hate. I don't hate it.
No. But yeah, good episode. Slow burn episode. Little filler, but still filled the gap.
But I do feel like a lot of the information we got was useful. Like I don't think it was a lot of like dump and exposition heavy, even though there was exposition. But I don't feel like it was over your head with it. I just a little slower than I wanted. That's all.
Same.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that's going to be it as far as this review goes for The Last of Us Episode 3, The Path. And I also want to mention this real quick too, Don. Like this episode is called The Path. So it's basically the path that Tommy wants to follow, just as the path that Ellie needs to follow. So it's about choosing the direction where each person wants to go in. So that's what I'm getting out of the title. But still, I
like it, and the path, like the path to Seattle kind of thing too. That could be part of it. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think all that's in there for sure. And the path of the towns, like or the town, like where's the town at now?
Right. That's actually a good point too.
Yeah. But yeah,
all right.
I think that's true.
Well, guys, going ahead, visit Don's YouTube channel. It's be in the description below.
Don't do it.
And
don't scare yourself like that. Don't do it.
Do it. I'm telling you that they're gonna have some great content over there. Go and visit the Multiverse of Geekdom over there too. Don and Jason does a fantastic job on their channel and stuff, trying to build up their audience and stuff. So go ahead and follow them. I will be back Friday night with Tamika, and we're gonna be reviewing Superman 2 at 8 o'clock Central. Yep, 1980.
Nice. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, we're reviewing all the Christopher Reeves movies.
That's the one where he turns. No, that's 4. Where he spins the Earth backwards. Is that 2 or 4?
That's part 1.
Is that part 1? Oh my.
Yeah, that's part 1.
So I gotta watch them again. It's been so long.
Yeah, we ended up doing Superman 1. We're doing all our Superman rewatches for up until the new Superman movie comes out. So we're going from Superman, Man of Steel, and that's it. After that,
you're not doing Batman versus Superman?
No.
How dare you disrespect that movie? Dare you disrespect Martha?
How dare you say that name? Would you say the name? Okay. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing that with Tamika at 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. That's friend cool. Zoe, huh?
I said that's cool. No, I like that.
Thank you. Appreciate that. But yeah, my friend Zoe and I will be reviewing The Warriors on May 6th. It's mine and Zoe's first time seeing The Warriors. So we're going to do a first time watch for The Warriors. So it's going to be fun. So go on ahead, check us out at 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time on May 6th. And yeah, guys, that's going to be it. Go on ahead, follow Rossie, subscribe over at Rossie's Clubhouse. And always until next time, guys. We'll talk to you later. Check out the trailer reactions that I dropped last night. I did 3 trailer reactions. I did one to Now You See Me, Now You Don't. I also did another one for Weapons. That's also another one I did. And then there was another one I did as well. Like I did like 3 trailer reactions one night. Yeah. Smashing Machine, the Smashing Machine with The Rock.
Oh, okay.
So those are the 3 that I dropped. So check that out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And always until next time, guys. Bye-bye. See ya. Bye-bye.